hell of a comeback for the Indiana Fever yesterday against the Sun, and they can thank Kelsey Mitchell for another absurdly dominant performance. I checked in on this game, and the Fever were down 21 points. They had just lost Sophie Cunningham to an injury, and she's going to get an MRI today, but she went down with a knee injury in the second quarter, and you're like, oh, close the door. The Fever season is cursed. It's over. They've now lost Ari McDonald and Sydney Colson, and Caitlin Clark has missed yet another game, 20 plus, and her status for returning during the regular season remains up in the air. And now you have Sophie Cunningham get hurt too, and you're just thinking, oh, this is going to be the beginning of the end. They had lost 2 in a row to bottom of the league teams, and now you're down 20 to the Sun, and everything is spiraling. And my God, if they didn't come back and win that game 99-93 in overtime, off the back of Kelsey Mitchell doing everything. She dropped 38 points. That is the most points scored in a WNBA game this season by a single player. 34 of her 38 came in the second half. So after halftime, down 20. She had 10 of their 15 in overtime. When you think of best performances of the season in the WNBA this year, Kelsey Mitchell on Sunday against the Sun has to be up there. And I get it's against the stinky Sun, but just considering the circumstances, another injury, down 20, everything feels like it's spiraling and going to a very bad place. And she dug that team out of there. And it's funny because before the game, Stephanie White talked about like not wanting to ask too much of Kelsey Mitchell, or the struggle of not asking her to do too much. And they are absolutely asking Kelsey Mitchell to do too much, but she has risen to the occasion. Since Ari McDonald went down, she's averaging 25 points and 6 assists. She has been tremendous. She has her teammates saying, hey, when you're talking about all these players for MVP, Napheesa Collier and Alyssa Thomas and A'ja Wilson, make sure you at least mightily whisper Kelsey Mitchell and what she has been doing. She won't win MVP, but she has been putting up ridiculous numbers when the Fever have needed her most.
All WNBA type
of
player, right? Like an MVP, probably no, but all W, probably yes. And she's been doing it all year. The part of the reason why I was excited about what the Fever were going to be this year before everything took place was because it was another year of Kelsey Mitchell, another year for her in the offseason to grow her game a bit and to come back and be ready to go, and she has been. She's a tremendous playmaker, shot creator for herself, off of the dribble, getting downhill with that left hand and, stepping back and hitting just simple spot-up shots, right? Like, she has made the most of every opportunity that she's gotten with this Fever club. And I'm not surprised that she went out there against the hapless Sun and put it on them like that. Who do the Sun have that's going to be able to step up and slow something like that down? And that's why she is one of the best perimeter players in the W on the offensive side of the ball right now. Now, the Fever still got some things to figure out. I don't know what the timetable is on the Caitlin Clark side of things, but right now they sit at 6, I do believe, in the W standings. I'm not sure who they
game above the Valkyries.
So they would match up with the Mercury? Are the Mercury third?
No, Liberty.
The Liberty. So they
Dream have won like 7 of their last 8 games.
After losing 4 in a row. They would match up with a Liberty team who I'm sure you would sure as hell like to avoid in that first round. But hey, all things considered, this is a really impressive performance for the entirety of the season by the Fever and specifically Mitchell.
Yeah, and I thought Odyssey Sims, who they brought in after the Ari and Sid Colson injuries, she looked more comfortable as the game went on. She was much better in the second half. They are at the point where they need literally every body that they have to be a contributor. So that will be important. As for Caitlin Clark, Stephanie White was asked if she thinks Caitlin Clark will return by the end of the regular season, and she said, that's the hope. The hope is that she's back. And I think you can really take that as a glass half full, glass half empty in how you interpret it. Either you hear, that's the hope is that she's back, and you're thinking, oh, so there's hope that she comes back by the end of the regular season and then goes into the playoffs. Or you hear, that's the hope is that she's back, and you hear that there is still a chance that Caitlin Clark does not return for the regular season, and what that means for the postseason is up in the air. It all feels very dependent on that. However, you do have a Fever team. They're just scrappy. And if I was the Liberty or whatever team that ends up assumingly facing them in the postseason, there would be a slight air of worry, of concern, because teams like that are just weird. Like, they find ways to win. That win yesterday, again, against the Sun, I don't want to make too much of it, but it was so indicative of this Fever team that just looks as, I mean, they're like the Undertaker team. They are dead, and then they rise, and somehow they get a win when you least expect it. So you could perhaps see something happening with a little bit of chaos once you get to the postseason. As for the MVP race, Alyssa Thomas continues to be the biggest challenger to Napheesa Collier. She had another triple-double. She had her 5th triple-double of the season. She's had 4 in August. 4 triple-doubles in the month of August. They beat the Storm. They ruined Sue Day, Forever Sue Day, with the Sue Bird statue that we'll get into in just a moment. But 5th triple-double of the season, 4th in this month. CJ, I think your whispers on Asia Wilson can kind of grow one decibel, I think is fair if we're talking about the MVP race.
First off, I'm not whispering Asia.
Okay,
I was saying Asia
with
like
the chest,
full throat.
Okay.
I got her right now. Right now, if I had to do the vote, I don't know how many votes do we get. Do we get 3, 5? I don't know.
I don't know. We don't have it.
I would go. I don't have it, but if I had it, it would go AT Asia. Napheesa Collier.
Why?
Because AT, what she's doing. All the triple doubles and the way the offense runs through her, no, that is my MVP. Because if you take that away, I'm not sure what they are. No, and I don't want to punish Napheesa Collier too
Just
much.
because the Lynx are still good without her, I don't think takes away from her importance.
Or still great.
They're still great, but you shouldn't punish the best player on the best team just because her team is so good.
Very true.
That her absence doesn't crush them.
Are the stats roughly the same with those two? Because last I checked, they were roughly the same.
Yeah.
When you think about points and rebounds, the difference is AT's ability to make plays for others in the assist game. Where Alyssa Thomas, last I checked, averaging about 10 assists per game. The next closest player in assists per game averages around 6, and that's a guard. I can't remember which one of the guards, but that's a guard. I think Alyssa Thomas is at like 9.4 assists per game. The next closest person is like
league leading 9.
6.5 or something like that, right? So she is damn near 3 assists per game better than the next closest person. That's why I did it. And what Asia's doing, just throwing that team on her back and
7-game winning streak,
dragging them through, kicking and screaming. They want to lose games. I'm joking here, but it sure as hell looks like at times they want to lose, and Asia's like, no, come here, hop on this back of mine. I'll carry you, and I'll carry Bam Adebayo also. I'm carrying everybody all the way to the playoffs. Damn it, just hop on.
Hop on. I'm here. She had one of my favorite. I would give it to Napheesa Collier.
Still,
I'd go Napheesa, AT, Asia. Yeah. Asia had one of my favorite quotes of the sports year in general, but also of the WNBA season. She was talking about how she has let the game come to her more following the All-Star break, and she's just been on an absolute tear. Like since her 30-20 game on August 10th, she's had 17-16, 30-16, and 34-8. Like, she's just been playing out of her mind. But she said that if she tries to force it, it's because she wants her team to win so bad, a la what you were just saying. But then she said, it's like forcing a fart. All you get is shit. Great graphic. Thank you, Bleacher Report, for your service. We can always count on you. If you go back and watch this video when she says it, Chelsea Gray's sitting next to her, and her reaction to her saying it is just as funny as the quote itself. But you know what? It's so real. You can't force that, because then that's a bad thing. And that's a lesson for all of us. They should put that graphic with that poster on PE gyms across the country, or on just classroom walls. I want to see it in a library. I want to see it in an elementary school library.
Elementary school?
An elementary school library.
The things we're taking out of elementary school.
Yeah, so let's put it in.
We're going to fit that in there.
Why not? There are no rules anymore. Who needs books when you have Asia Wilson saying, it's like forcing a fart? And they'd laugh, they'd giggle, but then they'd think on it. They'd get real philosophical with it and say, you know what?
Would you think on it in elementary school? Or would you just tee-hee-hee at farts and shits?
The Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hart, live every weekday at 8 a.m.